Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of the woods, there lived a very pretty young girl. Since she always wore a red cape with a hood, she was known as Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Red Riding Hood's mother gave her a basket of fresh apples to take to her grandmother. "Don't talk to strangers on the way," her mother warned her. The girl promised to be home before dark and set off to her grandmother's house, which was deep in the woods. Now, in this forest lived one big bad wolf who ate up little children. He saw Red Riding Hood skipping along the path and badly wanted to eat her up. So he came up with a wicked plan. The wolf jumped out of the bushes in front of Red Riding Hood. "Hello, young lady. Where are you going?" he asked with a sweet smile. Red Riding Hood forgot her mother's wise words. Immediately, she told him, "I'm going to see Grandma. She lives at the end of this path." The wolf cunningly said, "Well then, you should take her some flowers too." While Red Riding Hood was busy looking for flowers for Grandma, the wolf took a shortcut and reached Grandma's house. There, the wolf knocked on the door. He changed his voice and said, "It's me, Red Riding Hood. Do let me in, Grandma." But as soon as the old lady opened the door, he pounced on her and gobbled her up whole. Then the wolf quickly wore Grandma's cap and clothes, tucked himself into bed, and lay waiting for the granddaughter. "Come in, dear," called the wicked wolf in Grandma's voice as soon as young Red reached the cottage. Red Riding Hood came into the room and was surprised to see her grandmother in bed. "Oh, Grandma, what big arms you have," she said. "All the better to hug you with, my dear," replied the wolf. "Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have," continued Red Riding Hood. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," said the wolf, smiling. "Oh, Grandma, what big teeth you have," cried Red Riding Hood, her eyes wide with surprise. The wolf laughed a wicked laugh. "All the better to eat you with," he said, and pounced on her in a flash. Little Red Riding Hood was very scared. "Help!" she screamed. Just then, a kind woodcutter was passing by the house. He saw the big wolf trying to catch the young girl and immediately hit the wolf on his head with his axe. The woodcutter and Red Riding Hood cut open the wolf's stomach, and out came Grandma. She was scared, but quite unhurt. The big bad wolf could never hurt anyone anymore. As for Red Riding Hood, she was a very good girl and remembered never to speak to strangers ever again.
Once upon a time, a rich man lived with his wife and daughter. But his wife was very ill. She asked to see her daughter for the last time.
"Dear child, be good and kind to everyone. I will be near you always and watching you from heaven. Always remember that God will protect you.
Then her mother died.
Oh, Mother, I promised to be good and kind to everyone.
Every day, the girl went to her mother's grave and wept. She always remembered what her mother asked and was good and kind to everyone. On her way to the grave, a white bird always flew around the daughter. After many months, her father remarried. Her new stepmother brought her own 2 daughters to live with them. The stepmother and her daughters were very pretty, but unkind, and they had evil hearts.
Who do you think you are? You should not be here. Go out to the kitchen.
Yes, that's right. There are many chores to be done there. And stay there too.
Here's an old nightgown and some wooden shoes. These are more suitable for you to wear.
The poor girl worked hard from morning until night. Her stepsisters never helped. But the white bird helped her and sang a beautiful song to her whenever she wept and felt lonely.
Lovely bird, you are my closest friend, aren't you? I wish you could talk to me.
When night came, she fell asleep by the warm hearth. Her clothes became dusty and dirty from the cinders of the fire. In the morning, the stepsisters laughed at her.
Look how dirty she is.
Let's give her a new name. How about calling her Cinderella? She has cinders from the fireplace all over her.
Oh, yes, what a good name. Cinderella.
Poor Cinderella. Every day she worked hard and had to listen to her stepsisters' unkind words. Still, she remained good and kind. She visited her mother's grave often and wept. When she felt sad, the white bird cheered her up with a beautiful song. Then she would feel happy again because the song sounded like her dead mother's lullaby. One day, the king decided to have a big party. He invited all of the beautiful girls in the country. The king wanted his son to choose one of these pretty girls to marry.
I'm going to the king's party to marry the prince. Cinderella, fix my hair and help me get dressed.
No, help me first. I'm going to the party so that I can marry the prince, not you.
Please don't fight. I will help you both.
Cinderella helped her 2 sisters and thought that the party would be very wonderful.
I wish I also could see such a wonderful party. I wish I could see the beautiful people dance together and see the wonderful palace too. But stepmother would never allow me to go to the party.
However, the more she thought about the party, the more she wanted to go. She finally decided to ask her stepmother to take her too.
No, you don't have a dress to wear. Besides that, you're all dirty, and you don't know how to dance.
Everyone would laugh at you. Besides, we would be ashamed because of you.
Then, Cinderella's stepmother and 2 stepsisters left for the party. Cinderella was so sad that she went to her mother's grave and cried. The white bird followed her.
Oh, I wish I had a beautiful dress. Then I could go to the party.
As soon as the white bird heard her wish, it quickly flew away. After a while, the bird returned with a small package in her beak and dropped it into Cinderella's arms. Cinderella was surprised, but opened it quickly.
What a beautiful dress and a pair of shoes. Where did you get them? Oh, thank you, dear bird.
She quickly got dressed and hurried to the king's party. Everyone wondered who the beautiful girl was.
Who is that beautiful girl?
She must be a princess from a far country.
They could not recognize Cinderella. Won't you dance with me?
Yes, I will.
The prince would not allow anyone else to dance with her. He could not take his eyes off Cinderella. Soon it was late in the evening. Let me take you home.
Oh no, I must go home alone.
Wait. Please don't go away so quickly. Did I do something wrong?
No, thank you for taking care of me.
Cinderella could not say any more, and she quickly ran from the party. She did not want the prince to know that she was only a maid. But the prince tried to follow her home. I cannot believe how fast she can run. Cinderella took a shortcut and soon disappeared from sight. The prince tried to follow her, but soon got lost in the woods. After a while, he gave up and started the trip back to the castle. On his way back, he heard a beautiful sound. What a beautiful sound that is! The prince turned his head to see where the beautiful sound was coming from. He found the white bird sitting on a tree branch. The moonlight was so bright that he could see something glittering beneath the tree. It must be one of the princess's shoes. In her hurry, she must have lost it here. Perhaps this bird knows where she lives. The prince picked up the shoe and followed the bird as it guided him to Cinderella's house. Her father came out of the house when he saw the prince. You there! Do you have a daughter here?
My lord, I have 3 daughters, but 2 went to the party with my wife.
Just then, the stepmother and 2 stepsisters came back from the party. The stepmother thought that the prince had come to pick one of her daughters to marry.
Oh, Prince, I am so glad to see you here. Here are my 2 beautiful daughters. Choose the one you wish to marry.
I need to find the owner of this shoe. This belongs to the princess who is at the party. She will be my bride.
My lord, that is my shoe. Oh, I mean, I lost it just a minute ago. I put another pair of shoes on just now. Please allow me to try it on inside the house, my lord.
They hurried inside the house with the shoe. The stepsister tried her hardest to put on the shoe.
Let me try it on. Ouch!
The stepsister tried to squeeze her toes in, but the shoe was too small for her feet.
Give me that. I am sure it will fit my foot. Let me try.
Cut off your heel if you must. You have to get your foot into the shoe.
The second stepsister curled up her toes and took off her stocking to try to make the shoe fit. But the shoe was too small for her.
You fool! Let me cut off your toes.
What? Mom, please.
But the prince overheard this and stopped her angrily.
Let me see your 3rd daughter.
She could not possibly be the one. She is dirty and ugly. Besides, she has been home all night, sitting in the ashes by the fireplace. I am sure you would not want to see her.
I insist. I must see all the girls in this house. They must all try on this shoe.
Cinderella was wearing her old nightgown and looked very dirty, but the prince did not hesitate to go to her.
Put on this shoe.
Yes, my lord.
It fit her foot perfectly. The stepmother was so surprised that she fainted.
You will be my wife.
Oh no! This can't be happening!
The stepsisters sat down and cried loudly. The white bird flew to Cinderella and sang a beautiful song. It sat on her shoulder for a moment, then sat on the prince's shoulder too. The delighted prince took Cinderella and the bird to his castle, and there they lived happily ever after.
One night, a strange thing occurred in a village called Hamelin. The grown-ups had all gone to attend a festival in the next village, leaving all the children alone. Suddenly, the sound of a pipe seemed to come from nowhere, filling the village with its sweet sound. The music it made was so lovely that even the moon and stars were transfixed by its melody. All the children in the village were drawn out of their houses by the sound of the pipe, including a crippled boy called Mei.
What is that beautiful sound? Where is it coming from?
A man playing a silver pipe stood in the street. The children gazed at him curiously. Chubby Vincent was the first to speak.
Who are you?
But the man was silent.
Your music, it's so beautiful.
The man still did not speak and continued to play. Then he turned away and began to walk off towards the fields. Drawn by the sound of his pipe, the children followed.
Let's go with him! Yes! Let's go with him! Come on! Yes, let's go!
The man led them to a big cave with heavy gates. As he played, the gate opened.
Wow! This is incredible! Wow! Wait for me! Oh no, the gate is closing. I've been left behind. But I wanted to come too.
Peeking through a gap in the gate, Mei could see that it was as bright as day inside. There were magnificent birds with gems in their feather. Mei could see the backs of the children following the sound of the man's pipe.
I want to go too. Wait for me. Let me in.
But no one seemed to hear, and no one looked back. Tired and disappointed, Mei went back to the village. The village of Hamelin had always been concerned about the growing number of rats. One day, a man passing through the village claimed that he could rid Hamelin of rats if he was well paid. The villagers gladly promised him a rich reward, but when the rats were gone, they broke their promise. Now that same man had returned to punish the villagers by taking away all of their children. The following morning, the village of Hamelin was in a panic because all of the children were gone. Mei was still there, but no one cared because he was an orphan.
Oh no, this can't be true. A man playing a silver pipe led all of our children? Oh no. What's going on? Did you see him, Mei? Did you see him? Where are the children?
Yes.
Oh, how can we get our children back? How can we do it?
Oh, children! Come back!
The following day, all the villagers went to the woods in search of the cave, hoping to find their children. They found nothing and came home empty-handed. time passed and all the adults began to take special care of Mei because he was the only child left in the village.
Look, Mei, I made cookies for you. Would you like some?
Thank you. Thank you. Mei doesn't want your cookies. Look, Mei, do you like this toy?
How do you know what Mei likes? Leave him alone! You're a fool. I know him better than you do. Hey, what did you just call me? Hey, buddy!
Mei spent each day with a different family because they all wanted him to stay with them. They gave him lots of nice clothes, delicious treats, and wonderful toys. Mei had everything he had ever wanted.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Look, Mei, do you like this? Yes, thank you.
Mei was happier than he had ever been because for the first time in his life, he felt loved. He became the best student in school as well.
Good job, Mei. You've won the writing competition. Here's your prize. You've won a book. It's all for you and you alone.
Thank you.
Hooray! Mei is the best! Wonderful, man!
Mei had never really been that good with his schoolwork, but now he was always the best because he was the only child in school. After a while, Mei began to grow lonely.
It's not fun when I haven't got anyone to play with or ride the seesaw with me. I feel so lonely. I wish I had my friends back.
As he said those words, a shadow fell over his face.
It's you! Please tell me, what did you do with my friends? Where...
Well, let's see. Here, take this.
It's a silver pipe! Why are you giving this to me?
Didn't you say you want your friends back?
Yes, I did.
Well, this is how you can bring them back. If a child from Hamlin plays the silver pipe, all of the children will return. All you have to do is play it.
But I can't. I don't know how to play.
Suddenly, the man clapped twice and stepped forward.
Kolkola bakola yi! North!
Mei realized that he had been taken to a part of Hamlin that was suffering from an epidemic because of all the rats. The man began to play his pipe, and the rats emerged from the houses.
Rats! What if we both play?
Will you play with me to help me get rid of the rats?
All right.
The man and Mei began to play together. And the rats followed them to the edge of a cliff. Mei played as well as he could and saw the rats hurl themselves over the cliff to drown in the ocean below.
Now the epidemic will stop.
Amazing!
After that, Mei and the man drove off the crickets that were destroying crops in the south. In the west, they chased away the black clouds that wouldn't let the flowers grow. And in the east, they cleaned the waste that was polluting the river. As they traveled together, Mei could play the pipe better and better.
This pipe, it's magic, isn't it?
Then,
Kolkola bakola yi! Cave!
the man had brought Mei back to the cave, where the children had been taken.
Yes, my work here is done. The only one who can save the children now is the pipe-playing child of Hamlin.
At those words, the man vanished into thin air. Maymay looked through the gap in the door. The cave was dark and cold, and the children were being watched by fierce falcons with sharp talons. They were pale and ragged, and sat in the dim candlelight looking tired and anxious.
Wrong. Again. 10 minus 7 is 3? I don't know.
What was 3 plus 8? Oh no, that's what is it? I don't know.
Come on.
All the children were trying hard to count something on their fingers. Maymay knew what he had to do. But he couldn't make himself play because he was filled with doubt.
Vincent used to tease me all the time because I was an orphan. If all the children come back, the grown-ups won't love me anymore.
Maymay couldn't decide what to do. Then he remembered the faces of the people who had left him for a while and how good they had been to him.
Take this.
If I play the pipe now, I can make everyone happy again, even if it means I have to go back to being lonely.
So Maymay began to play, and played as well as he could for his friends and their families, ignoring the tears in his eyes.
The door is open! We can go home now!
The sound of Maymay's pipe brought the children home to their families, and everyone was happy once more. But what happened to Maymay? He was never seen in the village again. Perhaps he is still traveling the world with the piper and is playing his pipe somewhere right now, bringing peace and happiness.